In this tutorial, I will show you how to check the integrity of a file that you're downloading in order to determine whether or not the file is legitimate or not. For this purpose, we'll be using hashes. Hashes are one-way functions which create a unique identifier of a particular file. There are different hash algorithms, functions, and what happens is if you know that the integrity of a particular file has changed, therefore the hash of this file, the unique identifier, will change. So when we download files from the internet, typically the publisher is going to provide a hash of the file that they're releasing to the public. If at the time of download, when we get this file, the hash is different than the one provided by the publisher, the file has been tampered with, and thus can mean that it's potentially malicious. So the way we can validate whether or not the Kali and Metasploitable downloads are authentic is by verifying the hashes. To do that, there is an easy Windows program called Hash My Files. So what we got to do is I will provide actually a download link for the utility. But we go in, we download the tool, we start it up. It's called Hash My Files. And what we can do is once we start it up, we are going to see this window, and then we drag and drop the files we would like to have hashes computed for. Depending on the size of the file, it may take a couple minutes. Once the calculation is complete, you're going to see a screen like this, and here are the different hashes. So there's different formats: MD5, SHA-1. The current most prevalent format is SHA-256, the secure hashing algorithm, 256 bits. So in order to calculate a hash, what we can do is we can provide a single file. When we have a number of files that are nested in folders, the best way to do that is to archive them. So create a zip or 7-zip file, and then put everything together and calculate it this way. So is the Kali VM file legitimate? Let's take a look. If we go into the Kali VM download site, we see that the particular version that we have downloaded let's go into the actual download page. We go into the VirtualBox image. We downloaded this file. So the unique hash for it is this value. So what we can do is look here. And we go in the 256. So if you notice, it's a SHA-256. Look into SHA-256, and is it the same file? So we're looking at the Kali file, we're looking into the SHA-256 value, and we're comparing it. So the way I do it, DDC, look into the last 3 characters. And it's DDC. See if I can expand the window. So DDC, I'm looking to the first few characters, D0203. I know that this quickly, just by glancing over, that's the same hash, that's the legitimate file. There's a different way you can compare the hashes. You can use Excel compare function. Um, I think there's a probably Notepad compare function if you add the plugin for it, Notepad++ specifically, and so on. But this was the brief tutorial, the importance of using file integrity checking as a way to determine whether or not a file has been tampered with and decrease the likelihood of introducing malware to computers.